Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. And the new George Liddard, the Billericay bomber, creates history by becoming the youngest ever British middleweight champion. Now, he did this by stopping Northampton's Kieran Conway in the 10th round at the York Hall to lift both the British and Commonwealth middleweight titles over at the York Hall in East London. And I've got to say, shout out to the young man, George Liddard. He talked a lot before the fight. He made a lot of bold statements. He said he would be the first man to stop Kieran Conway. He said he would win the fight. And I've got to say, he delivered on everything he said. And I must say, I was very impressed with the young man today. In fact, I would go as far as to say tonight, a star was born. And you know what? This young man, he's only 23 years old. He's not even got his man strength yet. And for him to do what he did, dominating a tough, experienced champion in Conway, literally from start to finish, winning pretty much every round. Like I said, very impressive performance. Tonight, Liddard, he was sharp, he was fast, great foot speed, great hand speed, controlled the pace of the fight, threw punches in combination, showed good defense, picked his punches well, hurt Conway a number of times, dropped him and then stopped him. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Tremendous performance. And the win tonight was what I would say a forceful statement that kind of transitions Liddard from prospect to pretty much contender. I don't see him stopping here. The British and Commonwealth titles, I would suspect he'll make a couple of defences and then try and step up to European level and then maybe onto world level. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be a world champion, but I've got to say that I was very impressed with what I saw tonight. And like I said, 23 years old, not even got his man strength yet, and yet he was able to dominate and stop Kieran Conway, who is a good fighter in his own right. So, yeah, well done to him. I mean, he was sharp from the opening bell. He controlled the centre of the ring, dictated the pace. Clearly, his strategy was to start fast and overwhelm Kieran Conway, test the champion's durability, and he did exactly that. He utilised a stiff, persistent jab, quick jab, and that pierced Conway's high guard and helped Liddard set up a number of follow-up shots. His hand speed, I've got to say, was noticeably on another level to Conway's, and that allowed him to win the majority of the exchanges. Whenever they came together and let their hands go, it was noticeable that George Liddard's hand speed was way superior. And he also targeted Kieran Conway's body, which is very good. It worked well for him, and that significantly helped him to beat Conway, because what that did was slow down the champions in the later rounds, where previously a lot of people thought that Kieran Conway might be the one to make a late surge. So, yeah, man, I mean, despite this being George Liddard's first scheduled 12-round fight, he fought with an impressive maturity. He didn't rush his work. Like I said, he controlled the pace, and he did pretty much everything bang on. It was almost a punch-perfect performance. He did get caught a few times, did stay in the pocket a little longer than he might otherwise have done. He'll have to watch out for that, especially when he fights better opponents and the opponents can punch hard. But I've got to say, I mean, for 23 years old, very, very impressive. And like I said, this kid is going places, make no mistake. As for Conway, Kieran Conway, good fighter, like I said. This was a disappointing night for him. He was well beaten, I've got to say. And he's a good fighter himself. He's big, strong, he's durable. He's a seasoned vet, you could say. He's fought at high levels. I mean, he's fought in rarefied atmosphere. Canelo Alvarez undercards. He's fought guys like Ammo Williams, big punchers and people like that. But it appeared tonight that he was overmatched by Liddard's velocity, and Liddard's volume, and Liddard's speed. I mean, Kieran Conway's toughness allowed him to absorb a lot of the punishment, especially after about rounds 5 or 6. He did try to utilise angles and counter-punching, but he was frequently beaten to the punch, and it was all to no avail. And by the 8th, 9th, 10th round, you could see he was visibly suffering in there. He was visibly compromised. He was complaining in the corner that he'd hurt his hand. Well, actually, I'd stop short of saying complaining. He did mention the fact that he'd hurt his hand. I think he said he had problems with his nose. He was cut under the eye. And in the end, that hand injury or the shoulder injury, it could have been a combination of both, actually, as well as the wear and tear and the damage from the eye, led to his downfall, really. I think Liddard noticed it after a while, charged forward, landed a series of punishing shots. Conway went down, and the corner subsequently threw in the towel, just 49 seconds into the 10th round. I think it dropped Conway the round before, or at least giving him a standing count. But yeah, pretty much one-way traffic. And this result, I would say, marks a changing of the guard in the British middleweight division. I mean, Liddard's win was decisive, and beating a experienced, durable champion like Conway proves that Liddard possesses not just the skills, but the power, the tenacity, and the heart and everything else, and the stamina to compete at the elite domestic level, which is what he did today. So I would say that the future is bright for Liddard. I think he'll go on from here and make, like I said, make a couple of defenses, maybe then try and target the European fight for a title there, and maybe kick on. I mean, the world's his oyster. He's a very impressive young man. He speaks well. Even his post-fight interview was quite funny. He did give credit to Kieran Conway. But yeah, he's an engaging personality. He's definitely a great addition to the British boxing scene. And I suspect we'll be seeing a lot more of him. So yeah, big up to George Liddard, man. Very impressive performance. Like I said before, it creates history by becoming the youngest ever British middleweight champion at just 23 years old. As for the vanquished, as for Kieran Conway, he also said in his post-fight interview, he admitted that he'd been beaten by the better man. He did reference the injury, but fair play to Kieran Conway. He didn't try to make excuses as that was the reason why he lost. He said he was losing the fight anyway, but obviously the injuries didn't help. He said that once the injuries clear up, he'll be back. And yeah, why not? I mean, he was well beaten tonight, but he was beaten by a very, very good fighter, a very, very good young fighter. So, you know, Kieran Conway, I'm sure, will be back. There's plenty of fights out there that he can pursue. But tonight was George Liddard's night, man. Big up to the young man. Like I said, very good fighter, speaks well, good-looking kid, got the swag. And yeah, this was George Liddard's night. Well done to you, my friend. Look forward to seeing you again in a not-too-distant future. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Plenty more videos coming your way from myself. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.